Exactly. See, Moose is right. Moose, I wish I could put your comment on the screen, but that's exactly how it should be. Okay? No offense, guys, but it should literally be like, if you are a woman, okay, you guys should be supporting me over Polly. Okay. And he probably just heard me. All right, TikTokers, we're going to restart. So come right back. Bye, guys. It has returned! The shorts is back up and running. I do read books. Not as often as I used to, if I'm being honest. I used to read a lot of books. I own almost 200 books. Hey! And then I'd see this dude pop up. I'm like, wait, do you know? Listen, so Lainey, he does tell me that at least like almost every live he gets asked if somebody knows if he knows me, which is funny because nobody asked me that. Eddie, I would assume it's because they have a lot of time on their hands to scroll shorts, and that's probably why. Favorite book series? Okay, you're probably not even gonna know this one. Bishop, I almost guarantee you won't know this one. But Cassie Palmer series. I forget that I need to turn this one off when it's not up there. Back. Good job. Okay. Hey, that's cool. It finally came back up. It's alive. So Yoshi finally came, like, we're back and running. This is how we know. I was scrolling through DEAD shorts till the Goku turning blue in the Brawly movie popped up and started. Yeah. Yeah. So that's, and we're going to get back on to the topic of politics, okay? Here for conflict. That's what I'm here for, Paradox. So as you guys are coming in back over on TikTok, I'm going to need y'all to do the work. I'm going to need y'all to tap the screen, complete the gift goal as quickly as possible. Let's get this back up and running so that we can get the conversations. Not having a phone call for the last 30 minutes, like, I can talk. Obviously, I talk the whole time, right? Oh yeah. Hey, okay, Parkers, I might have a new assignment for you, but we're gonna do this real quick. I see the boys doing this, Parker, and I know you're gonna know who I'm talking about, so I've decided I should maybe do it too. And that seems to help. At least on this one. So I might need you to start doing this, okay, Parkers? Like typing that in there as you come in and pinning it, but I don't know. I'm gonna try. And Parkers, but I don't wanna. Well, think, Roslyn. Listen, guys, I will be live on my birthday because instead of my birthday's in the middle of the week, right? So that's kind of the problem. So I'll be live on my birthday. But I might not be live on the 25th, the Saturday before. Fel, you're back. I always miss you when you're gone. What? Oh. Oh my god, y'all are funny. I'm just seeing this comments. Sorry, Dark Lord asked, what is the hotline for? So Dark Lord, this hotline is to assist MAGA with accepting that Donald Trump is lying to you, A, or B, just coming to the realization, or I'm mostly challenging their critical thinking skills and their support of Trump. But this is mostly for the people that are tuning in and watching, because I don't ever expect to change anyone's mind. And I think that's important for people to know, that when people are calling in, I don't expect to change their minds. Okay? I don't. I'm sure you don't even know what that case was about, James. Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Awesome. How old are you?
Go ahead.
How old are you?
41.
41. And are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Am I? Yeah. I still would vote for him. Even though I think he's, an idiot in a lot of regards, but the main issues that I care about, he seems to be supporting him.
Can you tell me 3 lies that Donald Trump has told since he was inaugurated into office?
3 lies?
Yep. Oh, thank you, James. I appreciate that. Yeah, 3 lies that Donald Trump has told since he was inaugurated into office.
Well, like I said, I support him, but yeah, I think one of the lies that he said was that the wall was going to be paid by Mexico, which I thought was ridiculous.
That was in his first term. I'm talking about this term. See, there was a gap between his times in office.
Yeah, I know there was. I didn't know you were asking specifically about this term. This one, I don't know. I guess I was mostly calling to see if there was anything that you were critical about when it comes to, Democrats, how they were saying before that deporting is fine, but now they're against it.
Oh, sir. Can you remind me what position of office that the Democrats hold the majority in at the federal level?
Well, but look,
Can you remind me what position the Democrats hold the majority of at the federal level?
Well, I'm not saying that they had the power to change it, but
what position?
I don't know.
They don't.
But
right? Okay, cool.
Okay, but
So at what point did your assumption come in that told you I must be a Democrat because I speak out against Donald Trump?
No, I made that assumption. I could be wrong.
Oh, okay. Because I'm not. I'm not affiliated with either party for a reason.
Oh, so you're an independent?
I'm a non-affiliated voter.
Okay. Okay, so you're not, your whole line is basically to just point out Trump's, but not any of the Democrats.
I'm sorry.
no.
Who is the controlling party in all 3 branches of the federal government?
Oh, no, I'm just asking what your purpose is. Your purpose is specifically against Trump, but
It's not against Trump. It's to speak out about what he's doing actively while he's in office. And it's mostly to encourage his voters to engage in critical thinking skills and being able to question being able to question themselves in their support of Donald Trump.
Well, I can tell you what my support is.
No, question yourself and why you are supporting Donald Trump. Not for you to
Well, that's what I'm telling you.
No, I don't think you're understanding this. This is why let me finish explaining real quick, okay? When I'm asking you to question yourself and why you support Donald Trump, it's not you looking for things that he did well that reaffirm your support. It's looking for things that he's done bad, and then for you to explain to yourself how that's a good thing. And then try to reason that for why you still support him.
Well, I can tell you then. The reason why I support him.
No, I need you to tell me things that Donald Trump has done bad.
Not
just go into why. No, you haven't.
Oh, you're saying for this term? For
Yes.
this term, no.
That's why
I don't
it's
know. I don't know
still
what I.
supporting Trump, right? Still,
Well,
not
because
why do you support Trump? It's not a general
well,
question.
I
It's
mean,
why are you
you can have this
still?
argument for Democrats as well. You're never going to tell me
I'm
that
not a
there's not things
Democrat,
that
so I don't give
Democrats.
a shit. And again, the Democrats
Okay.
have no power in the federal government right now. They don't have the majority in anything. They are not in the White House. They are not in the majority in Congress, and they are not in the majority in the Supreme Court of the United States. They don't have the power right now.
Okay. So you're just gonna you can
Awesome.
have the same argument with whoever's the president at that point. Then I think it's
Right.
kind
Yeah.
of
I have no
unproductive.
problem questioning any political leader that is in the majority or in power. So, like, if it was a Democrat in office right now, yeah, I'd probably be questioning the shit that they're doing.
Okay. So it's just specifically him, not just all politicians. Okay. No,
Yeah,
if
I
that's
guess
what
I
your
don't
channel's about, that's fine.
understand. Yeah, that so what is MAGA? Can you help me out with that? Maybe this will help narrow it down for you. What is MAGA? Like who does MAGA support?
I guess that no, I guess you can say what's isolationist
No, no,
policy when it comes with their
I
tariffs.
didn't say what. I said who. Who does MAGA support?
I guess those that prescribe to that policy of isolationism.
No, who? Who's
I just said that's whoever prescribes to that policy, or anti illegal immigration.
gotcha. So are
It would
you
support
just
those people.
intentionally obtuse?
I answer your question, and you just don't want to accept
No, no,
the
I'm
answer.
asking you, are you just intentionally obtuse?
First, you asked me who he supports, and I told you.
Okay.
So I mean, I don't know how you can make the argument that I'm
That's
obtuse.
not, I
In
didn't
fact,
ask
I
you
would
who
say
he
that
supports. Who is he? I didn't
I
ask
told
you who
you.
he supports. You're literally
Yes, you did.
answering
You said
questions that
who.
you're like rephrasing. I didn't ask
Okay,
who is he? Who
who
is he?
who is Trump?
No, yeah, no. I didn't say Trump, did I?
Then who are we
When I
talking
was
about? I
asking
don't.
this question, I didn't say Trump. But you
Okay,
kept
then
bringing
who?
up he, and I'm like, who is he? And then now you're saying Trump. So do you see how you answered
Well,
your own
that's
question? Okay, perfect. So now I think we're on the same page. MAGA supports Donald Trump because he is the creator of the MAGA movement as we know it right now in 2025.
okay.
Would you agree with me on that one?
That MAGA supports Trump because he's the creator of MAGA.
No, I didn't say he's the creator of MAGA. I said he's the creator of the movement that we know it as right now in 2025.
Yeah, I guess he is the creator of it. If you're saying "Make America Great Again," then yeah, he's the one that started that.
No, he's not the one that originally started the phrase, sir. That's why I said specifically 2025.
I don't know what you're trying to get at.
I think you're right, Alfred, since that's definitely what's happening right now. Oh man.
Okay, I don't. Okay,
Cool.
so what do you want to discuss?
All right. So
then?
now when we go back and we look at what the words that are on my background, right, where it says MAGA support hotline, and then when I remind you what my title was, which is accepting that Donald Trump is lying to you. Why would you come in here thinking that this live is anything but about Donald Trump?
I didn't say it wasn't about Donald Trump.
Then why were you asking me about other things? Why were you asking me about the Democratic Party then?
Well, I saw you on what do you call it? The shorts, and I saw
Uh-huh.
that it's generally videos about saying that Trump's not good and whatnot. So I assumed that your whole channel was. I didn't even realize that you had
No,
a
my whole
specific
channel is
title of
about
it.
politics. But yeah, when you came into the live, there's literally a title that goes across the bottom of the screen. And then there are
Oh, so you
words at
have
the
to.
top of the page that also say MAGA support hotline.
Okay, no, if you're saying that we have to talk specifically about accepting, that Trump is lying, then no, I didn't even know that we have to talk about that specific
Why
subject.
else would I ask
So
you,
then,
tell me 3 lies that Donald Trump told since he was inaugurated?
no, I guess then I'm wrong for thinking that we're gonna, discuss multiple, open topics. But
Yeah,
if that's what we have
let's
to
start
talk,
with his biggest lie that's literally affecting the most people right now. Are you ready for this?
okay,
Let's
yeah, go ahead.
see if you can comprehend this.
I got
Donald
plenty
Trump,
of criticism of him as well. So.
doesn't sound like it because you weren't able
No,
to
I
do it
do. I
previously.
can give you multiple criticisms of him. I still would vote for him, but I
Mm,
have multiple criticisms of him. I mean, of both parties, to be honest.
sure.
But if you want to talk, if you want to give me specific lies that he could, go ahead. That's fine.
Yeah. Donald Trump said that the Democrats shut down the government.
Well, from what I understand, they were proposing
From
like a
what you understand.
1.5 trillion
Oh,
policy that the Republicans don't want to accept. So I
we'll
mean,
get to that
at
in a
this point, I would
second, but
say.
I want to go ahead and like get
I mean,
to
this
the
is this is a this
this
is a
no
two-party thing. I would say that they have to accept that Republicans have to accept what Democrats want. So I guess they're both at fault at this point.
Oh, okay. So, but specifically, when do you happen to know? Let's start with the base question. I need to find the baseline of your knowledge here. How
Hmm.
many Congress people do we have in total?
I don't know.
You don't know. Do you know how many
No,
Congress people we have in the Senate? This one is
no.
literally the easiest one. You
I mean, you don't even have to know all this information in order to know that when someone is doing something wrong, if they say that if you're soft on crime, that's not good policy, you know. But go ahead. What's your point with this question?
let's try this because I really hope you know the answer to one of these, okay? How many senators does each state have that
Look.
represents
If you
them?
want to do the whole gotcha thing,
This
I
isn't
don't
a
understand
gotcha.
what the
I
point is.
literally said I needed to find the baseline of your knowledge. So because
Oh,
I
okay.
want to educate you, okay?
Not
So,
not I couldn't tell you exactly how many senators or congressmen and all that stuff is, but okay.
no, that's why I asked you a different way. How many senators does each state have representing them in the Senate at the federal level?
Oh, I would think one. Hello?
It's 2.
Okay.
Okay.
I
So
I
we
don't know.
have
I'm
2
looking it up right now, so
senators. Yeah, we have 2 senators for each state, okay? So
okay.
now knowing that one, serious question. How many senators do you think are in Congress? Senators, not representatives, senators.
Well, if you're saying two per state, then I would say 100.
Perfect. Thank you. How many do you need to be the majority out of 100?
Well, 51.
51. The Republicans have 53, meaning there are 47 Democrats. Well, technically 46. Sorry, 45. There are 2 independents that caucus as Democrats. Okay. All right. So now we have the breakdown of this. Okay.
Hmm.
So when you have a 53 Republican majority,
Hmm.
all right, how can it possibly be the Democrats' fault that the government is shut down when the Republicans have the majority?
Well, so then I'm assuming that there's some Republicans that aren't accepting whatever budget that they're proposing,
No,
right?
no, that's not what I asked. How can it be the Democrats' fault that the government is shut down like Donald Trump says?
Uh, that there's some that are registered as Republicans that are, what do you call it, not accepting the budget.
Nope, they had
By
the
definition,
votes.
if all of the Republicans accepted the budget, then they would have the majority and enough to pass whatever bill when it comes to the budget. But not all of them are accepting of it.
Okay. So no, they actually did have the majority in order to vote it and to pass it. They had it, okay? So they could have passed it. So here's how this works, okay? So for everybody that wants to spam the comments and they're like the filibuster, the filibuster, the filibuster rule. Do you happen to know what the filibuster rule is by chance?
Well, they just keep on talking in order to draw out so that there's no vote made.
No, that's not what the filibuster rule is. So no,
Okay.
so a filibuster, like somebody could call speaking time where they just keep discussing the
Like
the
read the phone
bill.
book.
Yeah, you can do that. Like talking for
Mhm.
a long period of time would be considered a filibuster as well. But that's not necessarily
Okay.
what the filibuster really is, okay? So the filibuster is something that you technically need 60 votes to break, okay? But see, there's this awesome rule that the Senate
So is that
has.
when someone is like talking and then you can kind of like cut off their time?
No, you wouldn't be able to cut off their time necessarily.
Yeah.
You would call in for a motion and they have to allot you the time to even call in for a motion, right? So they'd be like, "Yeah,
Okay.
you have the opportunity to speak. Like this is my time, right? Because they're granted time and they can keep talking for
Mhm.
until the end of their life if they could, right? So what I'm saying though is like technically, yes, most continuing resolutions in the Senate require a 60 vote threshold. However, all right, there's a cloture motion that the majority leader can call in at any point in time and say that this no longer qualifies or meets the threshold. Thank you, Richard, for the filibuster rule. And in order for that cloture motion to pass, it needs a simple majority vote, which they have. The Republicans are refusing to call for that cloture vote in order to
And that
continue to let Donald Trump try to clean up the government in the way that he so chooses.
why would they do that then?
Because we no longer have representatives that represent the people in our government, in our like federal government right now. We have party loyalists.
Well, that I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, and that's part of the issue, okay? And so because they are party loyalists, they are literally following along with what Donald Trump says because you know he tweets all up on his True Social, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
And
follow it,
so
but
he
yeah.
gets up on his True Social and be like, "I guess the Democrats want me to continue along with my plan and I'm going to meet with Russ Vogt of Project 2025 fame and we're going to fire federal employees." Which luckily has been briefly stopped by a judge. But that's up until, you know, something else occurring. And I do want to also give everybody a friendly reminder that back in 2011 and 2012, when the government was going to potentially shut down under Obama, in no uncertain terms did Donald Trump make it clear, like he made it very clear, that if the government were to shut down, it's the president's fault.
And now he doesn't want the buck to stop with him. You're saying it's
Oh
only
no, he
when.
doesn't. Very similar to 2018 when the government shut down. The last time the government shut down for 34 days was also under him. The longest government shutdown in our United States history ever in history was under Donald Trump. And this is leading up to be the second longest. It might have actually already passed that in history.
Well, like I said, I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that he says.
This isn't about what he's saying. This isn't about agreeing or disagreeing. This is acknowledging that these are lies and that these lies are harmful.
Specifically that it's the Democrats' fault.
Right. And these lies are harmful because he literally bragged about being able to shut down the government and then also fire American employees, American government employees.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, you have to. I mean, I'm assuming you can't do it now because you're on air, and you probably want to get to other questions. But I guess I have to look at. So what was the name of? So you said the term that you used in order to stop a filibuster.
So it's called a cloture. And then you could also look it up by the nuclear option.
How do you spell that? Because it sounds somewhat like muffled.
CLOT. Yeah, no, CLOTURE,
Mm-hmm.
cloture.
CURE.
Yeah. And so then you have a nuclear option is also what it's called, but it calls for a cloture vote.
Cloture. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any references? Just not just for me, but if anybody else is watching, so that they can look it up and see the
Senate.gov has all the rules listed for what's required.
Senate.gov.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they're lying about stuff, since I've caught both sides multiple times. So at this point, it's a lesser of two evils, and in any case, there's no such thing as
No, when someone's
no.
already elected president, you no longer get to use the lesser of two evils because they're actively in office. And also, when you're trying to say evil, you're bringing morality into the question. And I would beyond say that Donald Trump had the least amount of morals when it came up to the last election and the candidates that were in there. And I mean all 5 candidates in total, not just the main party candidates.
Well, I think, I mean, maybe he himself, I can maybe make that argument, and you can make that argument that he's maybe the least moral from all of them. I just think, at least in
He
terms
was.
of, hmm?
It's not making an argument. He was. Do you think, let's try this. Actually, no, I'm not going to go on it. Never mind. All right, we're good, man.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
You have a good
No,
one.
thank you then.
You're welcome.
Oh, you too.
Okay, bye. Hey, Anna, I would love for you to call in and actually have a conversation with me. I'm sure you won't because, like you and most MAGA, you guys run scared. But I'm going to go ahead and read your comment out loud. LMAO, I'm sure you weren't laughing your ass off for one. You speak as if any of the Democrat politicians, it would be Democratic politicians, just trying to help you out here. So I'm going to fix your sentence here. You speak as if any of the Democratic politicians aren't full of lies. Trump lies, but he also delivers on promises he made throughout his campaign. Okay. So with that being said, that's still also not true that he's delivered on all of his promises that he made. And see, I'm talking about his actions while he's been in office, and I understand that you are not understanding that. Okay. I do not beholden myself to a party, nor do I beholden myself to a politician, unlike you. I hope that helps. And I've never once said, let's be very clear, I've never once said that the Democrats don't lie. Do you see how she made a connection that wasn't there? See, the thing is, I'm talking specifically about Donald Trump because he is the person that is sitting in office and has the power to pass or veto bills.
Awesome.
You are the one that's bringing up Democrats, not me. I'm talking about the person that is sitting in office and that is actively violating articles and amendments of the United States Constitution. So I am questioning you, or I'm challenging you to question your support in Donald Trump. Remind yourself the stuff that he has actively done poorly since he's been in office. And then try to pretzel yourself into reminding yourself why you still support somebody that would do so much bad. Moose. Maybe people should actually know the rules around the voting rules. That sounded the conversation was painful. That kind of was a little bit painful. He was nice and he was open to learning at the end, so I do appreciate that from him. So I do appreciate that. Guys, if you are watching me, sorry, TikTok, 1 second. If you're watching me over on YouTube, you can also have your comment read and addressed perfectly out loud if you send a super chat. Also become a member. I do prioritize membership comments. I would like to see 5 new members today, if at all possible. So yeah, keep that in mind. TikTok, y'all are not tapping. There's 405 people in here and y'all just ain't tapping that screen. Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. How old are you?
26.
26. And are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Yes, I am supporting Donald Trump still.
Okay. What has you questioning your support in Donald Trump or the MAGA movement today?
What has me questioning my support in Donald Trump or the MAGA movement?
Yes.
Well, I think some of the reasons that I may question my support in Donald Trump come from the fact that obviously, and there have been several people who have said this in your stream, obviously, when you're talking about a candidate like Donald Trump, you're unfortunately put in a position where you're kind of forced to choose between the lesser of two evils.
No, I don't think people understand. So you can use the lesser of two evils argument when you're going into the voting booth. We are now 11 months past election day, right?
Yeah.
You no longer get to use the lesser of two evils argument to explain why you're still supporting Donald Trump, because he's now been in office.
Supporting.
Yes,
why I'm still
literally
supporting Donald Trump.
Like, I didn't ask you that question, but that's literally what, like, I asked you, are you still supporting Donald Trump when you called into the line, right?
Yeah.
Still means like actively still doing it today. You no longer get to say it's the lesser of two evils.
I have to disagree with that.
How? Who else is there to run the presidency right now that would be a lesser evil, or sorry, a greater evil than Donald Trump? Who right now has the potential, like the active sitting potential to be president right now, October 15th, 2025? Who?
Well, I mean, that question, I honestly, if I had to answer that question, I'm not totally sure.
No one, because the answer is literally no one else but Trump, because he was the person that was inaugurated into office on January 20th, 2025. There is no lesser of two evils as of October 15th, 2025. Literally the day after the election, the argument died. The argument was no longer there. It could no longer be said anymore, especially after he was inaugurated and into office, and then also rolling back to January 6th, right? After the election results were certified. There are no more lesser of two evil options that you can even use that argument anymore.
And that's where I still have to kind of disagree with you.
Who is the greater evil that could take over the presidency today?
Obviously, today, right now, no one.
No one, exactly.
I mean,
so
obviously.
You no longer have that option. I'm going to help you out with something else that might actually blow your mind. Hold on, no, I'm going to tell you something that might actually blow your mind.
I've said my point
I'm
about
going to
3
tell you
times,
something else really quickly that might blow your mind, okay? And then you can say your piece, okay? You do not have to actively support anyone in politics. You can choose not to support the president and still support the United States of America. You are not required to be beholden to a politician, and they do not need your support. They do not require it. You do not have to give them your support. That's why people have a very hard time with the question when I ask them, Are you still supporting Donald Trump? And then we go down this line and people want to use the lesser of two evil arguments. You do not have to support a sitting active president of the United States of America. You are not required to. You can support America. You can love the United States
Oh,
without supporting the president of the United States. Now
okay. Now
try your
I just
lesser
gotta
of two
ask you
evil
something.
arguments.
I just gotta ask you a question. So let's say that this channel is beyond successful, right? Let's say that you reach every MAGA supporter, every supporter of Donald Trump, and with your spiel, that rhetoric or whatever, with your message, and you convince every MAGA supporter, you know what, I don't have to support Trump. What does that look like going forward? Because here's what I'm thinking, right? Even if that were the case, even if we didn't have to support a sitting president, unfortunately, we're still put in a position where we're obligated to support different policies.
No, you're not.
And unfortunately, even though I may not morally or in any way support the sitting president, that doesn't change my obligation as a citizen to support policies. And
Wait,
that doesn't
can you tell
change.
me where
I mean,
you
he doesn't.
obligated?
Wait,
Where
hold
are
on.
you
Let me finish.
obligated?
Let me
You
just finish.
interrupted me
Let
the
me just finish
entire
my
time.
last point. This is the
Sorry,
last thing I'm gonna
dude,
say.
you interrupted me
This is the very
entire
last
time.
thing
You're
I'll say.
not exempt from being interrupted.
I'm sorry.
Where are citizens obligated to support policies that are enacted?
Well, we do that by voting in our cities. We do that by voting for our city councils in our communities and so forth.
Obligation means a requirement. I don't think people understand. Like, you have to, don't use words if you don't know what
I mean, we
the
can
meanings are.
argue. I mean, we could debate on the
This
technical
isn't a debate. This is
on the
just me
technical
helping you with
definition of.
English.
Well, we could debate on the technical definition of obligation, but I mean, obviously, I think we both know, you being a very intelligent person, that that's not the definition that I meant to use when using that word, right? So, but I mean, if we were to use an appropriate word, I'm compelled as a citizen to still support certain policies.
How are
and
you
even
compelled?
if I don't support the sitting president, doesn't he remain president for the rest of his term? I mean, what?
Oh, gosh.
What does that look like? Me not
Why is this
supporting the sitting
so
president.
hard? What does that look like?
I'm genuinely asking that.
Means that you're using critical thinking skills, okay? So obligation means that there is some form of requirement that says that you have to support him. If you are even saying compelled, that means there is some driving force that compels you in some way. Either it's convincing you, or it's requiring of you, or it's pressuring you in order to do this. What driving force is therefore compelling you to support the policies or support the president of the United States? What driving force is compelling you to do so?
Oh, okay. No, see, I'm not saying that there's a driving force compelling me to support Donald Trump.
Compelling.
I'm saying that I'm compelled
to
as
be
a citizen of the.
You have there is
just
a
let me finish.
outside source.
I promise. I
to
promise
be
you, I will answer
compelled,
every
there is
question
an
you ask me.
outside source pushing that upon you.
Okay, yeah, and so
Who
I
is
feel
this outside
compelled.
source?
Yeah, I feel compelled as an American, as a citizen of the United States of America, to involve myself in voting on policy that takes place in the United States of America because I am a citizen. So that outside force would be me being a citizen of the United States, would be me.
See, if that was the case, then everybody would be required to vote, and that's not a law in our country. I want to read you a quote.
I'm not saying required, but I'm saying morally, I feel compelled.
I said
to involve myself in policy.
Yeah, and let's not even get started on your morals, because I have major questions about your morals if you're voting for Donald Trump and what you consider evil at that point. But okay, you know who Teddy Roosevelt is, right?
I would hope so.
Okay, just making sure. Some people don't know who they are, okay? All right, so I'm going to read you a quote, and I hope that this hits home. I don't know if it will, but I'm going to try to hit home for you, okay?
All right.
And this is something that I believe like supports me in what I'm doing and helps me keep doing this. To announce that there must be no criticism of the president or that we are to stand by the president, right or wrong, it is not only unpatriotic and servile, but is morally treasonable to the American public. Nothing but the truth should be spoken about him or anyone else, but it is even more important to tell the truth, pleasant or unpleasant, about him than anyone else. Okay? So when you are trying to say that you must, like, you have to support him, therefore you must still
I
support
didn't
him.
say I have to support him.
Oh,
I said
you were,
policy.
yeah, you're compelled to support him. Okay?
Policy.
I asked you about supporting
let's
him, and
make
who
sure-
signs the policy? Okay, so fine. You're compelled to support the policy that he supports and pushes. So his agenda.
No, that's not what I said.
Sorry,
Not what I said.
are the policies that are being enacted right now by the Republican Party in Congress not being pushed by Donald Trump's agenda?
Some of them are. There are some things that are a part of his agenda that I completely disagree with.
That's not.
But
You just
as
said you
far as-
have to.
oh, wait.
No,
I'm just
sorry. Now you are.
clarifying
No,
my-
you are actually.
my
What you're
original
doing is
statement.
you're backpedaling. This
I'm
isn't a
not
clarification.
backpedaling.
You
I
are
will
literally
double down on what I
backpedaling.
originally said.
You're
No,
literally
I promise you,
backpedaling.
I'm not.
You
I
said
promise you, I will double
policy.
down so hard on this.
You said that you had to support the policy. There was a compelling reason for you to support his
Yeah.
policy because of morals,
Not
right?
his. No,
So
I
then
did not say his policy. I did not say that.
the
I said
Republican
I'm
Party right
compelled as an
now,
American citizen to involve myself in
the
policies that
Republican
take
Party
place in the
right
United States of
now,
America.
the Republican Party right now is pushing Donald Trump's agenda because if it went against his agenda, he has this beautiful option called a veto where he could not sign a bill. So literally everything
True.
that's literally gone through Congress right now, which are the policies that you support, which also means if you're supporting the policies, you have this you are compelled to support his
Wait,
policies.
hold on.
You said
Wait.
you said you are compelled to support his policies, sir.
That's
You
not. I did not
said
say
it.
his. I
You-
did not say his. And you're
You
a very
said,
intelligent person,
okay,
so
let's
you
try this.
know that I didn't say that.
I'm tired of you interrupting me for 2 seconds, okay? You
You've
said that you were
interrupted me several
compelled to
times.
support the policies that are enacted by the President of the United States of America.
I did not
We'll
say
go
that.
from
I
there,
did
right?
not
You
say
are
that.
compelled to support policies, sir. Okay, I'm going to read something to you. That means that you are you are compelled to stand by the President of the United States. We are to stand by the President of the United States, right or wrong, is not only unpatriotic and servile, it is morally treasonable to the American
Yeah.
public. I wanted to reiterate that to you because you're the one who's
I
trying to make
agree.
this a
No,
claim
no, but here's
about
the-
your morals, and I don't think you're understanding how you are being morally treasonable to the United States of America. You said you knew who Teddy Roosevelt was, so I'm just reminding you of his words. Okay?
Okay.
You
All
said
right,
that
I
you
hear
have
you.
to support the policies that are enacted by the president and by the Republican Party that's in office. This is
No,
not
no,
me
that's not
twisting
what I
your
said.
words. This is me reminding you of the words that you said that you are now
I
feeling
didn't say
offended
that
by,
verbatim.
and you are pretzeling yourself into re-changing them and moving the goalposts because you no longer
Now-
like it being pointed out to you that what you said no longer makes sense. So you
Wait,
support the
hear me out,
policies that
hear
are
me out.
actively being
Can I
enacted by
clarify
this
my point?
administration. These are your words. You are supporting the policies
Can
that
I
are actively
clarify
being
my
enacted
point
by
so we
this
can debate on
administration,
my point?
meaning that you support the policies that he signed, the bills that are being passed by Congress, and you also support the executive orders that Donald Trump signed. So those are his policies. So you support them. So you are the one who said you still supported Donald Trump. Let's be very
Yeah.
clear. You are the one
Yeah.
who said you still support Donald Trump and that you are
say
morally
that.
compelled to support the policies that are being enacted by this administration. Okay.
I did not say that
So
verbatim.
you
No.
did. I'm not trying to quote you
didn't.
verbatim. I think that's the part that you missed, right? So like
No,
if you
that's
want to
not
go
the
back
no.
and watch
So
yourself
so
and what you said and see how you've pretzeled yourself and then shifted the goalpost,
I didn't
you are
pretzel
welcome
myself.
to
You're
do
just not
that.
allowing me to
But
clarify my
see,
point.
you're not understanding. I don't need to hear your point, sir. This is not your show. If you would love to start your own live, I'm sure 3 people would tune in and you can tell them all about
But
your
I
feelings and about what I did to hurt
thought
your
the
feelings.
purpose
Okay.
I thought the
So I
purpose of the
don't
show
think
was
you
for us
understand.
to
And
debate a
even someone
point.
saying that somehow Donald Trump is more moral than the previous individuals that were campaigning for president is laughable. Can you tell me what is moral about being civilly adjudicated of sexual assault on a woman? What is moral?
Nothing.
Oh,
Nothing at all.
nothing is moral about being civilly adjudicated of sexual assaults.
Not even a little bit. No.
Not even a little bit. Interesting, but you voted for him.
I did.
You did.
And
So
can
this is where
clarify
I
my
say,
point so we can
this is
debate
where
my
I
point?
say, we're not debating. I told you that from the start. So this is where
But
I
I thought the
say
purpose
that
of the
your
show
morals,
was
it's not
you
a
were
debate. It
asking
literally
MAGA
says
supporters
commentary. I'm
Wait,
not
I
asking
thought
you
you were
why you still
asking MAGA
support.
supporters why they supported
I
Trump.
didn't actually, did I?
I thought
Actually,
that was
what
the
I
purpose of the show.
no, it's not. See, what I
That was
asked
the
you
very
is
first question. If
no,
I
it
quote you
wasn't.
verbatim, the very first question you asked me is, "Do you still support Donald Trump?"
No,
And
yeah,
I
that
said
that was
yes,
the
and
first.
you wanted
Actually,
me
that
to
was the second
clarify.
question. No, I didn't ask you to clarify. I asked you what has you still what has you questioning your support, and you said
That's asking me
nothing.
to clarify.
No, it's not. That's not asking you to clarify. And then
That's
I
why you
asked you,
rephrased the question
and then I
afterwards.
asked you. No, I didn't rephrase it even once. Then I asked you,
You did.
tell me 3 lies that Donald Trump has told, and you couldn't think
You
of
didn't
any,
ask me
sir.
that.
Oh,
You
so
didn't
that
ask
means
me
you
that.
cut me off before I could ask that question. Got it. Because that's usually what that means. Because, see, normally I literally have a set way of how I go about it. But, see, you must have said something that piqued my interest, like trying to call morals into question and try to make this thing that somehow Donald Trump was the more moral candidate.
I
When
never
he
said
was,
that.
you just did. Lesser of 2 evils
I
is
did.
calling morals into question. Evil is a
Yes,
morality
I
term.
still stand by that
Perfect.
statement too.
Awesome. So when you're questioning morals, you have to look at the individual, sir. And again, I'm going to
That's
remind you, and this is going to hurt your feelings, and I know it.
I don't believe
Donald
so.
Trump was held civilly liable, so he was civilly adjudicated for sexual assault on a woman, and you said that is immoral. So no, sir,
I did
your
say that.
morals are literal garbage. I hope that helps. Oh, I don't mute them, guys. I don't know if you guys realize that. I don't mute them. See, when I just want to talk, they can crash out all above, try to the whole time. Okay? Yeah, exactly, Jay. When you say that you have to use past tense, you would have to say Trump was the lesser of 2 evils. There is literally no one else that can take that has the capacity right now to just be like, move, bitch, get out the way to Donald Trump and take over the office of the president. There's steps that have to be taken. Steps that have to be taken for that process to be done. So nobody can just go, move, bitch, get out the way. You're no longer voting for people. Okay? You are no longer voting for people. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate that. Thank you for the $9.99. I admire your patience. You are awesome. I appreciate that one. There have been no bills vetoed, Chris. So that could be a potentiality if any bills had been actively vetoed. Chris, no bills so far in 8 months of presidency have been vetoed by Donald Trump. So that argument falls flat if that was the case. But it's a decent attempt. All right. Over on TikTok, guys, we should have been at 75,000 likes 2 minutes ago. So let's go ahead and tap up the screen to 75,000 in the next 5 minutes. I appreciate you. Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there?
I am here.
Awesome. How old are you?
I'm 26.
26. And are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Well, I won't say he has my full support, but I do support him on some issues.
What has you questioning your support in Donald Trump or the MAGA movement today?
Well, I have a moral and ethical framework that aligns with Orthodox Christianity. That's where I ground my morals and ethics. And if he doesn't necessarily align with those ethics, then I am going to disagree with him. But since we're using morals and ethics to
We're
validate
not. I'm
whether or
literally
not he's
asking
doing
you.
the
That was okay. I'm going to help you guys with something real quick. When I answer a new phone call, and this is to everybody that's listening, when I answer a new phone call, this is a brand new, fresh conversation. We are not here to rehash the conversation that I just had with the last caller. That is basically a closed book. That is the end of that chapter. It is the end of that book. Okay, it's closed.
So we're not
Let's
going to talk about
try.
morals and ethics? Isn't it?
Comprehension is lacking. Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there?
Oh!
Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there?
Hello.
Hi, how old are you?
I'm in my 30s.
You're in your 30s. Awesome. Are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Yes.
Okay. And what has you questioning your support in Donald Trump or the MAGA movement today?
What has me questioning my support?
Yes.
Nothing.
Nothing at all. Okay. So tell me 3 lies that Donald Trump told since he was inaugurated into office this year.
Well, he said he stopped a war between Azerbaijan and Albania. I think those countries aren't next to each other. I think he said 300 million Americans died of drugs last year, which is like 90% of the population.
Yeah. That would be like we're all dead.
Yeah.
Did you know that you died last year?
No.
Okay.
I just can't believe I got picked for the call. I appreciate your time.
Okay. Well, you have a good night, man.
You have a fantastic evening.
All right. I totally get that. He just had stage fright. I feel so bad. He just had stage fright. I totally get that. Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. How old are you?
41.
41. And are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Absolutely.
Okay. And what has you questioning your support in Donald Trump or the MAGA movement today?
Well, didn't he just do a huge peace agreement between Hamas and Israel?
Oh, you mean the ceasefire that both sides have already violated?
Yeah, they violated, but only because of true cause.
Because of what cause?
True cause. They told him not to cross the line, and these Palestinians.
Oh no, I think people forget that IDF,
Hey,
which is the military force over Israel, literally did a drone strike to kill Palestinians. It wasn't just they did a drone strike. It wasn't just them. Oh goodness. I'm correcting misinformation, and that's why I have to actually kind of talk over you a little bit. But so no, sir. So they did a drone strike on civilians. We're not talking about the fact that they shot 7 individuals that came up towards the IDF that were still in Gaza, even though they were
And what
supposed to
about
leave.
Hamas
I'm
fucking
talking
their own
about a
fucking
drone
Palestinian
strike that
people?
happened on that same day that I'm sure that you
Look,
weren't even aware of happening. So that's
dude, don't
okay.
talk over me, please. Just let me get my
Why?
point across, and then I'll let you get yours across.
Why?
Okay?
Why?
Why does Hamas shoot their own Palestinian people?
No, I'm asking you, why should I let you get your point out?
Well, because you want
Why
to
do I
have a
have
conversation.
to?
You want to have a conversation, but it seems like your channel is one-sided.
Sir, you were interrupting me the entire time. It doesn't seem like you wanted to have a conversation.
All right, so go ahead and talk, and I'll listen.
Okay. So anyways, both sides violated the peace agreements, even though technically, actually, within the text of the peace agreement, it was already made aware to Israel that Hamas may not be able to identify or locate all of the deceased bodies of the hostages from that were, taken on October 7th, right? That was actually included within the text of the peace deal. And because unfortunately, Israel is refusing to lend them heavy equipment right now in order to make sure that they can find all of the bodies. There's not truly a delay, so Hamas hasn't technically violated the ceasefire, but Israel definitely did when they not only shot at Palestinians for crossing a line, but they also committed a drone strike against them. So now they are blocking aid trucks from going in after, they just encouraged all of the Palestinians to go back to the Gaza Strip. So now
There
we're
was a
going to see
blowback that landed
additional,
there
now we're
today.
going to see additional starvation occurring and probably additional malnutrition occurring of children. So I think that that's awesome that they're just going to continue their genocide while nobody's paying attention.
Yeah, I think you're getting false information from CNN.
I don't watch CNN. You might, but I don't.
MSNBC, where the fuck
Don't
you
watch them
listen to them.
either.
Listen, there was a Globash airplane that landed there today with over 30,000 pounds of aid to be delivered to Gaza.
To be delivered, but has it been delivered?
I can't say, but hey, the U.S.
Thanks for becoming a
isn't the
subscriber,
fault.
Nemesis.
But look, you blame all your troubles on Trump.
I was blaming my troubles on Trump. Which troubles
That's
have I
all your
issued?
streams. That's all your streams. That's all you talk about.
My
is,
troubles? What
the
troubles do I
MAGA
have?
hotline.
What troubles
Look,
do I
let me
have?
talk.
What
Will you let
troubles
me
do I
talk?
have? What
You
troubles
have
do I
plenty
have?
of trouble.
You've now made a
You have
positive claim. What troubles have I personally complained about?
GDS.
I'm sorry. Where can I find that in the DSM-5?
Well, it's called Trump derangement syndrome.
Where
and
can
it's
I
clear
find
that
that
you
within
have
the
it.
the DSM-5?
Whatever, dude. Like you're so fucking.
Do you know what the
twisted, and all you can do
DSM-5 is?
Go ahead, explain. Explain to all your viewers.
Oh, so that's actually the book that's issued to psychologists that are the ones that would actually diagnose somebody with some kind of mental disorder. So that's what catalogs the list of mental disorders. And I hate to break it to you, sir, but TDS is not a real medical disorder or a mental
No,
disorder. So
personality trait. And clearly you have it.
it's a personality trait. What defines a personality trait?
You tell me, sweetie.
No, you're the one who said it, so I'm asking you to clarify it. What defines a personality trait?
Just the way you act.
The way I act? In what way is that? Can you
Trump
be
derangement syndrome.
specific?
Somebody that's so far left that they can't get the fucking ass right. You're
Oh,
so
I'm not a
twisted. You-
leftist.
Everything's so
I
fucking
can't get my
twisted.
butt right? I'm sorry. Have you seen my ass? That's a little bit weird.
No, and I don't want to. I can
Oh,
only
okay. I
imagine.
wouldn't show it to you anyways. That's really odd. So are you able
But let's
to
go back.
list out the symptoms of this? Like, can you actually quantify what personality traits I have that it show that I have TDS?
Yeah, you don't listen to the news. You don't fucking
I
believe
don't
that
listen to the
anything that
news?
what's going on in America is good. All you want to do
Oh.
is hate.
Wait, I'm sorry. How is that a personality trait to not listen to the news? I'm sorry. Wait, you listen to your news? You listen to your news?
Look, I listen
Have
to
you ever
all
tried
news.
reading?
I read a lot. and
Oh,
I
you read a
listen to
lot.
both
Do you
sides.
read your news?
Of course I read my news.
Oh, okay. So I don't know about you, but I actually read my news. I don't listen to it.
Well, you could read and listen to both. What the fuck?
No, I choose to read because I actually retain more knowledge from reading than I do from listening.
Look, I'm sure you were strong in high school in debate or whatever.
This
but,
isn't a
you
debate.
are
This is barely a
very
conversation.
totally
You're not able to actually, like, if this was a debate, you would have lost the moment that you started to interrupt me, because people forget that debates are moderated and you have time slots to
It
speak.
goes both
That
ways.
hasn't, sorry, sir. Debates are moderated and you have specific time slots in order to speak if this were a debate. Since you interrupted me first, sir, then you would have already lost. It doesn't work when I
goes
interrupt
both
you. That's
ways.
just playing fair game. That's called matching energy, which I know always seems to upset individuals such as yourself. So, can you now try to explain to me what personality traits I hold that you believe have exhibited symptoms of TDS, which we've already established is not a
No,
diagnosable
we
mental
haven't
disorder?
established anything. I'm telling you, you have a Trump disorder for sure.
And what
You do.
makes up Trump derangement syndrome? Can you
Look
give
at your fucking headline.
specifics?
Look at your headline. It says
No, that would
MAGA
be an
hotline.
example. I'm
And all you
asking
want to
you,
do is
sorry, I'm asking you to explain to me what makes up Trump derangement symptom. I'm not asking you to provide me examples. I'm asking you to quantify it and describe it, not examples. And like, I'm asking you to tell me exactly what makes it up, not looking for examples.
okay, are you ready? Are you ready?
Go
It's
ahead.
people that despise the Republicans only because Trump is in office. And any good that he
Oh.
does, all they want to do is give their repercussions on every bad thing that he's
I don't
done.
think you know what repercussions means because you already used that incorrectly.
I've had a few shots of it.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah. You're still a bitch.
Is that supposed to hurt my feelings? I don't know if you realize this, but you haven't hung up. I guess he just really wants to be here, huh? You guys see how you haven't heard the beep yet? He hasn't hung up. He's literally still on the phone. Wait, guys, are we still in the 21st century? Did people forget how to utilize technology? He literally is still there. We're at 9 minutes and 22 seconds and counting. He doesn't even know how to hang up. Do you guys think that I should help him out? Should I help him out and help him hang up? And I promise you, he's not even muted because my volume's all the way up at 100. He ain't talking. Let him struggle. Oh goodness. Guys, can we knock out this gift goal a little bit quicker for me? All right. 389 people over on TikTok. If you are new here, be sure to hit that follow button. You guys hit out that 100K like goal right on time. I appreciate you guys so much for doing that. If you can help me out with this next one, I greatly appreciate it. I am going to briefly mute you over on TikTok, so don't freak out. I'm giving you a warning. Over on YouTube, if you are new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Subscribing is free. Caller still has not figured out how to hang up the phone. That's very interesting. So guys, if you are new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button. You can even hate subscribe to me. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me either way. And be sure to hit that bell notification so you know exactly when I go live. And if you send jewels or become a member or send a super chat, that goes right up on the screen and I do directly address you. That's the one way to guarantee that I read your chat is if you are a member or you send out super chats or jewels. Also, yeah, over on Twitch, guys, be sure to hit that follow button up at the top. We're 2 away from hitting 290 over on Twitch, and I think that's pretty awesome. And be sure to hit that bell icon so you know exactly when I go live. And you can also become a Prime membership, just like Mnemonic Nemesis did as well. So consider doing that. So yeah, guys, he's still on the phone and still has not figured out how to hang up the call. They do it all the time, JK Pockets. I'm not even kidding you. When I say that they do it all the time, they do it all the time. Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and open the lines up for the next caller while he still can't figure out how to hang up. And now we're going to go ahead and hang up on him. Thank you for calling the MAGA support hotline. Are you there?
Yes,
Awesome. How old are you?
in my 50s.
In your 50s? And are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Yes.
Okay. And what has you questioning your support in Donald Trump or the MAGA movement today?
No, I'm not really questioning anything on the movement.
Okay. So can you let me know, like, can you tell me 3 lies that Donald Trump has told since he was inaugurated into office this year?
Okay. That's, since I don't really follow media very much, I'd have to say I think that there's probably some degree of lying in terms of, is he really taking a big role in ending some of these so-called conflicts across the world? I would say that I think that there's probably some kind of fabrication or at least stretching of the truth in those.
Okay. We'll take that. That's 1. So ending wars. Okay.
Awesome.
Yes, I really can't think of anything else. I guess overall, I'm supportive of what the current administration in Congress. Well, I'm going to have to say that it's the administration. The administration is currently pushing on the issue of trying to get as many undocumented immigrants out of our nation. And this is something that I'm glad I actually got through, because I wanted to put this out there and even hear what you have to say about it. The reason why I like this, and I like the direction it's going in, is in the line of work that I do. This is going to be a very narrow and very specific. In the line of work that I do, which is the transportation industry, there's a lot of undocumented workers, especially in the state that I'm at, because undocumented workers can obtain IDs and driver's license that does not allow them into federal buildings. So it's not like the real ID for most of us. But they can still get a driver's license, and because they have a driver's license, they can register to do such things as work with transportation network companies. And
Do you know why?
It's crippling my line of work.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah.
Why do you think that certain states allow the issuance of driver's license to individuals regardless of an immigration status?
To probably, in terms of a public safety issue, to probably at least make sure that, they can handle machinery.
I mean, that's part of it, but there's a more pressing issue for why.
Okay. I don't know what that more pressing issue would be. For me,
it's so that they can carry car insurance, because what these states were experiencing is that regardless of the fact of whether or not they had driver's license, individuals, because we know this even with American citizens, that they actively will drive without a driver's license all the time, right? But specifically, they found that they were still going out and driving cars, regardless of holding that driver's license or not. But in order to purchase and carry auto insurance, you have to have a driver's license, and you also have to have a car, right? So what they were experiencing is that there were a ton of uninsured motorist claims that were being filed with car insurance companies that was then raising their rates. So in order to try to take off the burden of some of the drivers, right? They started issuing driver's licenses to not all states, of course. This is a very handful, selective states that even offer this, right? So now
Yeah.
they can carry the minimum liability insurances. That way it takes off the burden off of individuals such as you or myself if they were to hit us, that our insurance isn't footing the bill and therefore we're experiencing a price hike.
Okay, so that offers the explanation for why the states, or
Some
at least the state
states.
that I reside in, would issue those licenses. But for me, like I was saying, part of the reason why I like the direction that they're going in, and there is removing these individuals, or at least scaring them enough to turn away from the transportation industry for fear that they might be easily caught up to. It's making it a lot easier for me to get back to being able to support myself in this line of work. At one point before Uber and Lyft, I was able to make, something like to the tune of almost 80,000 in revenue a year. But ever since the introduction of Uber and Lyft, which does not screen, they just simply, okay, they have a driver's license, okay, they have a liability policy, they can drive. And meanwhile, my market was flooded with undocumented workers, and my ability to make 80,000 dropped down to like 20,000 in revenue. I couldn't even survive. Now that a large number of these drivers are disappearing, and when I say these drivers, I'm again referring to the undocumented immigrants. A lot of them are disappearing. The transportation industry that I'm in is picking back up. I wouldn't be surprised if at least this year I can get back to making, say, 40,000 in revenue. So for me personally, the push on this regard, I don't know, I can't speak
How
to
do you
other...
feel about the fact that ICE has, we have them on video detaining a 15-year-old teenage girl and beating her down to the ground and putting their knees on her neck when she is clearly not resisting arrest or detention within that video? How do you feel about ICE officers doing that?
To be honest, I feel horrible about that.
Okay.
But
So these are the policies that you're
same
supporting.
direction.
We also have ICE on video dragging a 9-month-old woman who wasn't resisting, literally grabbing her by one arm and dragging her across the parking lot on film while bystanders are yelling at them. She's 9 months pregnant, dragging her across the parking lot to detain her. We also have ICE officers in order to detain a woman, or after they've detained her, for a woman that isn't resisting arrest, taking off her clothes in the middle of broad daylight outside of the detention center.
Yeah,
her chest was literally hanging out. These are things that these are not one-off incidents, sir. These may be three that I'm actively telling you about, but this is occurring everywhere across the country. We also have ICE officers entering homes without a warrant, which is a direct violation of the Fourth Amendment, right? Illegal search and seizure. You're not allowed to do that, right? And we have it where they've broken an older man's ankle who wasn't resisting because they felt like they had to drag them out anyways, right? Because they just can't wait for them to get their feet underneath them to start walking. They just start dragging them. Okay. We also have it where they've arrested and detained a man who is an immigrant who has 3 sons that all served in the Marines. And automatically, there's actually a law in place that family members of armed service members are not supposed to be subject to deportation because their family members served. They are detaining United States citizens They even detained a woman and told her that even though she handed them all of her documentation, that her passport was fake when it was issued by the United States government, the United States of America government, and they detained her for a week before they let her back out. So when you're saying that you support the mass deportation efforts, this is what I'm hearing you say that you support. Is that you support the cruelty that is coming out of this administration due to the mass deportation and the fact that they have to meet these arbitrary numbers that they're setting into place. And I think that one incident is too many, and that we should all be against the fact that these incidents are actually happening. And I'm sorry, but nothing, not a single penny is worth it to me to see people being harmed in such a way. A woman being embarrassed, right? Being literally clothes ripped off of her in the middle of a public space, with ICE officers not even trying to hide the fact that they ripped clothes off of her, until bystanders were like, stop taking off her clothes, that's sexual assault, we have you on video. And then they're like, oh, let's try to hand the hoodie back to her, but we're not even trying to put it on her. We're just kind of like, maybe this will cover it up, even though there are people surrounding us. A 15-year-old teenage girl has someone's knee on their neck. They arrested an autistic boy in California that had no idea what was going on. They are picking up fathers and mothers waiting for their children at school, children that are United States citizens. They're detaining legal immigrants.
Okay.
So I'm so glad that your greed outweighs the suffering of other people.
Yeah, but if I may comment on something in regards to the I guess these inhumane acts that you described,
Mm-hmm.
that's more of a specific thing for the individual law enforcement. They are the ones that are immoral. They are the ones that are behaving without any sense, like they got a power trip. Okay, and what you're describing as happening to the undocumented workers, that happens to even U.S. citizens just from the regular law enforcement doing their everyday work in a traffic stop.
But see, there's a difference, and I'm going to help you out with the difference here. So while our police system is by far not perfect, and not every incident is held, and not every incident holds the cop accountable, there is literally zero accountability held for these ICE officers, right? So we have another incident where an ICE officer physically pushed a woman to the ground, right?
Mhm.
Even though she
I'm
didn't
listening.
touch her, like an American citizen, while she was crying and yelling about her husband being detained, right? Pushed on video where they temporarily suspended him and said, we don't condone these actions. And then after the incident blew over, and I say blew over lightly, 24 hours later, he was reinstated and they're like, we saw no issues. See, the thing is, the people that are in power, that are being made aware of these events, such like Kristi Noem, they don't care. Stephen Miller, they don't care. You can say that's on the act of the individuals, but all of this falls back up the line, the chain of command, right? Because as a manager, if my employee were to do anything wrong, that falls back on me, period. And so when these incidents are being brought up to the chain of command, Stephen Miller is doing nothing. Kristi Noem is doing nothing. They are endorsing these actions by doing nothing. ICE officers are shooting out freaking, what is it? Their little gas grenades. I can't remember what all they're filled with or what they're called, right? They're shooting those out into crowds of people that are dancing around in blow up costumes. They literally aimed it towards a guy that was in a frog costume, a blow-up frog costume, towards where the opening was, all because he thrusted his hips at them, but he was still about, I don't know, a foot away from them. Didn't cross their line. All he did was thrust his hips at them. And then they purposely moved around and aimed the gas canister towards the opening of his costume. Donald Trump literally said to, I believe it was on September 29th, to our U.S. Armed Forces as well. Or it might not have been that speech, but he did give a speech where he said that he believes that ICE officers should be able to do whatever they want if they're simply spit at.
If he said that, I would definitely be in opposition. That would be something that I would disagree with. Absolutely. Unconditionally. Because, you know, that's just a horrible statement to say. But I think at the very beginning, I think you might be able to understand what I'm saying in terms of why I'm supportive of the idea of the mass deportations. I'm not supporting. I'm not nowhere near.
He did say it on the 29th. He said they spit, we hit.
Abuse.
That's what it was. Sorry.
Huh?
I'm gonna pull up. It was on the 29th. I was right about it. Let me. That's not the right one. Pull up this script. Go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah. No. What I was saying is, I'm not supportive of any of these immoral acts, but it is going to unfold that way because there's going to be countless and infinite numbers of possibilities of how things will unfold when you're trying to get somebody out of their comfort zone when they know they're doing something where they shouldn't be doing it.
So that's just condoning the actions. I'm going to read this to you. So literally, this is literally from his transcript. I'm going to read it to you verbatim. If it's okay with you, generals and admirals, I've taken that off. I say, they spit, we hit. Is that okay? I think so. They spit, it's a new thing. They spit, we hit.
And that's a narrative, that's a transcript of Trump speaking?
Yep. From September 29, 2025, he was addressing the commanders-in-chief, right? Like the commanders of the United States Armed Forces at Quantico, Virginia. And then also, like, here's his other part, right? And I say it here, you get out of that car and you can do whatever the hell you want to because those people are, you know, you can die from that. Those bricks go through windows, you can die. There's actually been, like, I think one report of somebody throwing a brick through an ICE officer's window, and that's it. Because it doesn't happen. But yeah, so he's saying, get out of that car, do whatever the fuck you want to them. They spit at you, you hit.
Yeah.
Oh, I
definitely,
actually said that.
I'm definitely not supportive of that.
Well, Donald Trump said it out of his mouth to the commanders of our United States Armed Forces.
I guess what I to make sure that I'm staying on par with what I was saying in the beginning is supportive of the I guess that's Make America Great Again and trying to push out all the undocumented workers. That part, I still stand behind that. I definitely don't support this idea of the immoral behaviors by the individuals. And
it's condoned,
yes,
and it's condoned by. It is condoned all the way up to the top, sir. These are not just immoral actions of singular individuals when it is condoned all the way up to the top of the food chain. Again, he just said this just over 2 weeks ago. Said that we're taking the gloves off. They spit, you hit. If somebody spits at you, you hit, which is an over-escalation. If a cop did that, they would get suspended and investigated. But now it's okay that the National Guard or ICE officers can just swing at United States citizens for spitting at them, which is a harmless act. Does it hurt you if somebody spits at you? Does it
I'm
put
not
your
sure.
life in danger if someone spits at you?
I'm going to have to say the answer because this is just from personal experience.
Does
I
it
used
put
to
your
work in a
life in
retail
general
establishment.
if somebody spits
I
at
work in a
you?
retail establishment, and I've had a nasty customer spit at me, and I straight up jumped over the register and clocked them. And I could tell you from that personal experience, when that happens to you, that's your instinct because
No, it's
you
not.
don't know what you.
I've been spit
I
at
mean,
before. You know what I did? I walked away. It doesn't require an escalation of
I don't know what you
force.
would consider that kind of mental fortitude or whatever, but for me, when I had that one person spit at me, and all I'm doing was just trying to check out their merchandise as usual, and something somehow got out of hand, and the next thing I know, I'm being spat on. And instantaneously, I just jumped over and started trying to wail on them. I got fired. I lost the job, but for me, at the end of the day, it's like, no, sorry, you don't spit on me. I didn't do nothing to justify you spitting on me in the first place, is the way I felt about it. I don't know how these incidents, but I can see how the reaction occurs.
No, I don't, because
personal
I guess people might lack in self-control, because that's what that would be. Because I, again, had the self-control to just say nope and walk away. So to be clear, guys, like the only time that like spitting could transfer on a communicable disease is if it either got into an open wound, which means you would have to know that you had an open wound on you, or
You could
got
get
into
into
your eyes, nose, or mouth. But aside from that, you can't catch that communicable disease.
I didn't mention anything about the
Oh,
communicable.
I know. It's people in the chat that are crying about it. Like somebody literally paid $1.99 to say that. Again, in order to catch the communicable disease like that, it has to go in your eyes, up your nose, in your mouth, or in an open wound.
So why the administration would not take a more how do you say, a more correct response in dealing in letting the chain of command know that when you have immoral acts being performed, that that needs to be called out. We can get plenty. If you need more ICE officers, we can get you more ICE officers.
Donald Trump has condoned it, sir. He doesn't care. I don't think you're understanding. Donald Trump doesn't care.
You're awesome.
He's condoning the actions.
Well,
that's a great point, Kimberly. I appreciate that. You are allowed. I just want to let you be aware. Like, you are only allowed to use as somebody that's an officer. They're only allowed to use equal force. They should not use more force. And especially for you, sir, if you hit somebody after they spit on you, that's an escalation of force, which you should not do. Like, both individuals should have been charged with assault. Person that spit at you, and then you for hitting that person. It doesn't excuse your actions. That is no longer in self-defense when you've escalated it. Donald Trump is promoting the behavior. He told our admirals and generals
that you are citing something that's correct in the law as far as excessive force, but for me personally, in the real world here, in the line of work that I do.
Yeah, because nobody else lives in the real world except for you.
No, everybody lives in the real world. It's just that when you
wouldn't have been necessary. Said then that comment wouldn't have been necessary. Here in the real world, Everybody lives in the real world, sir. There is no Earth 2. I know I've made jokes before about this timeline, but guys, I'm well aware that there is no secondary timeline. We're in the real
Well,
world.
I guess what I'm saying when I make a reference to the real world, in the world of legalese, you know, they think that in the terms of legalese, they think that there's an easy solution for everything. But here in the real world, when you're on the streets and you're doing things and you're just trying to make it through your day, and something unfolds that was, you know, okay, that came out of nowhere, and now you have to respond instinctively. I guess as a man, you're right. I was overboard when I did that, but that's not what we're questioning here. What we're questioning is the immorality of ICE officers, and you're correct. Their behaviors are immoral. When you strip a woman, I don't care what the reason was. Maybe there may have been a resistance portion to it, and articles of clothing came off. But why did you not immediately react to rectify the problem? That's the immoral behavior, and yes, I do not support that. I'm 100% with you on that. Dragging an autistic child, I'm 100% behind you on that. These are immoral acts. These are done by people who don't know how to think, or who don't know how to gain control of their mental fortitude instantaneously after they have had a bad reaction. And I'll reflect back on myself. When somebody spat on me, I had a very bad reaction. I jumped over and I attacked. But I did not continue striking the person once I realized that they're not trying to, you know, strike back. I didn't continue. I gained fortitude and control over my lost moment. I think you understand what I'm trying to say there.
Okay. People say that women are the emotional and out of control ones. Woo. All right. Well, sir, I'm just gonna encourage you to look up events like this. Because I don't think you understand the issue is it's not the specific individuals, it's the fact that the administration, ICE, DHS, is doing absolutely nothing about it, and Donald Trump has specifically condoned the acts. He also told them to get out of the car and do whatever they want. Do whatever you want. Get out of the car, do whatever you want. Right? They filed charges on the person that they shot and almost killed, like a woman that they shot and almost killed that was in her car. And after saying that she tried to run into the car of the ICE officer, but the body cam footage showed completely different, they tried to charge her with assault. Those charges are looking at being dropped because, again, the body cam footage showed the exact opposite. They tried to kill her, shooting her at an unarmed woman in a car that didn't do anything. So, like, I just want to be very clear. These acts have been condoned by Donald Trump and his administration. So if you admonish the acts themselves, you also need to realize that that goes up the chain of command to the very tippy top, like we already discussed. It falls on him, Kristi Noem, and Stephen Miller. And again, like, these aren't one-offs, these keep happening. We see something new in the news every single day about ICE violating another individual in this country and ignoring the laws that exist in our country.
All righty. Well, I want to thank you for taking my call, and
no problem, man.
Maybe another day I can get through and
talk about something else.
Subject.
Not a problem, dude. You have a good night.
You too.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Ew. See, that's what it sounds when somebody hangs up, because I'm going to go ahead and read this one. Suicidal Skeleton was upset about me saying this. He doesn't know how to hang up. Why are you so lame? I don't know. Why was he lame? Why didn't he know how to hang up? You heard that doo-doo-doo sound. That's the sound that it makes when they hang up. So that's how I know he didn't hang up. Doo-doo-doo. Oh, no, L, I ended that call to accept the new one. So I hung up on him. Just letting you know that. All right. No, we should never forget individuals that died in this country. Are you familiar with the name Molly Tibbetts, Pumbaa? Never forget Molly Tibbetts. I hope that one helps you too. Yeah, I already explained this one, so I'm not going to readdress this. Of course I paid $1.99. I work a full-time job. Wow, it's like no one else in America works a full-time job except for you. You sound a little bit brokey if all you can send is $1.99 though. So I'm just saying. Really quickly, guys, over on TikTok, if you haven't hit that follow button, be sure to hit that follow button real quick. I'm going to mute you for a second. Don't freak out. Don't run away. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to be right back, okay? All right. Over on Twitch and on YouTube, I am going to go ahead and end. I ran this way longer than I normally do. Or maybe not. It says only 2:09, so I guess maybe not. I don't know. It's being weird. Just because YouTube crash and everything like that happened today. That was fun. YouTube Shorts decided it was gonna yoink out today. They did fantastic work there. We had a little bit of a distracting live of just chit chatting, and I think that was fun. So I am gonna go ahead and end, and I'll see you guys back online tomorrow. I will be on live at 7 p.m. Eastern time, my normal time. And you guys have a great rest of your Wednesday nights. Thank you, Sarah, for the makeup brushes. I appreciate that one. Oh, that wasn't me demanding or asking heyday. I'm so glad that you guys love putting words in my mouth that I didn't say. I just want to say that. It was a statement. Y'all weird. You're welcome, Rodney. You have a good one. Thank you again, Sarah, for the